last year we were due to implement a new framework, and rather than selecting a pedagogical framework that had been designed for the general school in mind, our leadership team decided to be more specific to our school's needs by consulting with teachers and other staff as well as the community and the students. The process of collaboration and feedback to develop the framework was over the whole entire year last year. The staff got to select areas that they felt were important to them or they were passionate about, which led to the pedagogical framework that we're using this year. We did a lot of research, so even though we're implementing ideas that the teachers feel passionate about, those ideas are backed by research by leaders in those particular fields. We've picked one area that the school felt was important, which is curriculum intent, to begin our movement into the new framework.
Our know and do tables, we have a list of things students need to know and things they need to be able to do to be successful in that assessment. It's really useful in terms of being accountable to the unit of what we're doing, both for teachers and for the students.
I love know and do tables. It's not look at this massive list of content, it's these are the deep skills that are important for this particular unit, so you know exactly what you've got to cover. It does give you more freedom in the classroom because you know what direction you're going, you know the other teacher's going in that same direction. So I'm clear on what I'm teaching, the students have that in their book, they're clear on what they're learning and also how it's going to be identified in their assessment.
The students keep me accountable too. They say, I don't know how to do this. They see that they haven't learned something and they realise that they need to catch up or they need to revise a bit more. It's been really positive because they're able to really see the sequence of their learning. This is the bit I've learned, this is the bit I'm now able to do, and they're able to self-evaluate.
The know and do tables actually really helped me. The teachers have actually explained it very well to us. They read out the know and do tables to us, so I focus on those parts most in class.
When they were first introduced, they were a bit hard to understand and I wondered why we were using them. But with using them every lesson from now, it really helps to understand what we're going to be doing.
My advice to teachers using know and do tables would be to use them to create clear learning intentions so that it actually breaks the know and do table down into lessons, then interpret that a bit further for success criteria. Learning intentions in the classroom are things that the students will be doing in that lesson.
The learning intentions have actually helped me very well because when they write them on the board and we write them down in our book, the teachers will refer back to that, and if we go, oh, I don't remember doing that, we could just flick back into our books and see.
Sometimes in more difficult situations, like in subjects that I struggle in, learning intentions do help. I have paid attention to it.
Really helps me to understand what I'll need to be learning and what I'll need to be doing through the lesson. When it comes to knowing what you'll need to do during your exams and assessments, I think they really help. Definitely brings clarity back to the lesson. Success criteria is something that you also give at the start of a unit, and it just shows you what you'll need to know to pass the task and what you need to succeed.
Now that they have something in front of them that they can constantly refer to, it helps them to do that self-evaluation. Because they've already identified this is what I'm doing well, it helps me to say, yes, you are doing that well, or maybe, you haven't quite got it. Let's think about what we need to go through to be successful on the next assessment.
In exams, most of the time I do look at the success criteria because for A's, you need to put more detail.
In terms of the learning conversations we have in our classroom, I think they're a lot more valuable now. It's not just you haven't done your homework or stop talking in class, it's students of all different abilities wanting to have their work critiqued from the whole class, which is a new and exciting thing. So a lot of the ownership is back on the students and they really respond well to having that leadership in their own learning. The conversations that you have with your students about the learning, they're really good, like the kids just know what's going on. The amount of planning you're doing does feel less. It feels like there's less pressure on you. I feel more freedom in how I approach my planning and teaching.